I am terrified right now.
Brains, none found here. It's zombies.
Well, I was going to say Alex isn't here yet, so.
Oh, shit. Self-deprecation.
Right.
I can appreciate that. That is my bag. What are you doing?
We've got some news here.
Oh, you don't want to talk about the Lions?
Oh, yeah. Well, I was trying to skip over that. They scored 30 points and lost, so I'm not too happy this week with the Lions.
That is depressing.
Plus, Aaron Rodgers had the best game ever.
The perfect score.
He's the best quarterback ever.
Do you get tired? By the way, I am home at the movies.
And I'm Jackson.
And welcome to Bored and Annoyed. This week we are actually discussing, we're bored and annoyed with zombies.
With zombies.
One of Jackson's favorite topics, favorite genres, I would say.
I don't know about that. I mean,
top 10 favorite genres?
It's tough because I do hate them now.
Okay.
Like, I've gotten to the point where I'm just tired of them.
Okay.
So it's a perfect bored and annoyed because I feel like there's a lot of people who are bored and annoyed with zombies.
Right. Yeah.
They just keep shoving them down our throats.
They're like the new pirates. You remember when everything was supposed to be pirates?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we go through phases, I guess.
Can we stop with the pirates? And now we're like, can we maybe stop with the zombies? But hey, how about that Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, he's pretty good. He is not a zombie. The Raiders looked like zombies playing defense against Aaron Rodgers.
Who does he have for receivers?
Right.
He's got like no one.
Yeah,
it's
I don't know
crazy.
how that happened.
But you got to be tired of that as a Lions fan. Like the whole legendary quarterback.
Yeah, well, okay, here's where I get irritated. And I like talking to you because you're actually a sane football fan. Like, okay, I split the world into Wisconsin into football fans and Packer fans. Okay. They're like two different things, right?
Yeah.
Like there are Packer fans who, if you say Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time, will just assault you with how Aaron Rodgers is so much better, which to me is arm talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's an argument of talent versus greatness.
Right.
To me, it's always Aaron Rodgers so far. Now, Patrick Mahomes
looks pretty good, but he's hurt.
But he's hurt, and we don't know what he's going to be in, say, 5 years.
Sure.
But right now, Aaron Rodgers looks like the most talented I've seen in my life.
Well, it's fun. Like Matthew Stafford has more like arm talent and natural ability than Tom Brady does. But that doesn't mean he's better.
I don't think he has the football IQ that Tom Brady. Tom is like a machine.
Does anyone though?
I mean, I think Rodgers gets close. I think you could probably make the argument. It's like it's always going to be maybe Tom, Aaron, Breeze, and Manning.
I wouldn't even put. I don't put Rodgers in there.
Really?
But maybe that's just me being a stubborn fan. But like IQ, I don't agree because Rodgers makes so many plays because he's on the move. He avoids a rush. Like that's his talent, and he's really good at that. He can make every throw. Yeah. So if he's fucking, breaking a tackle in the backfield or getting out of some shit on the right side of the field, he can fucking gun the ball 40 yards down the left side of the field. That's not Tom Brady.
Right.
Tom Brady he's going to diagnose where the open guy's going to be, and he's going to hit him for like a 10-yard slant pattern.
Right. Rodgers is pretty good at that too, as far as diagnosing defenses and what's going to happen. He's pretty good at that.
But yeah, I am sick of it. I'm more sick of it because I remember thinking, okay, Brett Favre's going to retire soon, and then it's going to be a whole new world. I can't wait.
We're getting close to that now with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, but they'll just draft the next guy.
I mean,
I'm not going to believe it. They're just going to draft the next guy.
I will be absolutely shocked if they get another world-class Hall of Fame quarterback. I think everybody should be fucking shocked if that happens.
No, of course, but I mean, they have Packer magic, man. Packer magic.
I'll be happy with a Jimmy Garoppolo if I'm honest.
He's good.
He's good.
But yeah, no, I like, okay, so like a lot of people think Joe Montana is the greatest quarterback of all time, but Joe Montana is more of like a Tom Brady type where it's like, I mean, he was a little guy.
Yeah.
It's not like he was like this super athletic fucking guy.
Yeah.
Just really smart, had a good team, had a good coaching staff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I hate Aaron Rodgers because I don't like his personality.
I love his personality.
Oh, I
love how incredibly aloof and he's like not boisterous, you know, he's not
so arrogant.
He's arrogant. He's arrogant, but he's not arrogant in like the boisterous, like look at me kind of way. He's like the subtle arrogant.
What I don't like about him is I can't remember a time when he made a bad throw and like said that's on me.
I've seen that in post-game interviews.
No, he looks frustrated. Fine, post-game interviews on the field. Though, he's frustrated. Somebody fucked up.
I mean, he might be just. I mean, the thing is you don't know. He might be pissed at himself. He's just going like, I suppose, you know.
Yeah, I just don't like the guy. Okay?
Right?
Okay,
that's fine.
Okay,
you don't have to. You don't have to. I mean, I can't help but dislike Eli Manning
just because of how he looks.
He's just got that face where he always looks like he's slightly shocked about what's happening on the field.
He does.
It's like, what? They didn't catch it?
He does, yes.
I threw an interception.
But I mean, Aaron Rodgers is amazing, and the game he played was amazing.
Yep. Do you believe the hype? Everybody's like, he's in the MVP discussion. I'm not on that train yet.
He might be, but I don't think the Packers are going to win the Super Bowl.
They have improvements that need to be made if they're going to beat New England.
Yeah, the refs won't be playing for them all the way down the stretch. Unless the conspiracy theorists are right, and it's all about setting up the Brady versus Rodgers Super Bowl.
I have been wanting the Brady Rodgers Super Bowl for the better part of a decade. It's
box office.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that sells you the most tickets.
Sure.
The most viewers, maybe.
You know, on that note, somebody had a funny joke. Like, you know, my friend, he's a Lions fan, and he was really upset the other day. And I told him, I said, you know, don't worry. One of these days, Vince McMahon is going to write the storyline where the down on their luck Lions are the underdog story, and they win the Super Bowl. Don't worry.
This friend is a really good friend. That's a good friend.
I mean, that was pretty funny.
Maybe it's a little cruel that they're giving you some hope.
This was after the ref debacle.
Right.
Yeah, you know, it's all fixed. No, I don't go that far that it's fixed.
No, I don't believe that it is fixed.
No,
but
it could. If it was ever found out to be fixed, it would be a massive, massive problem. So much money.
I mean, the amount of lawsuits. The amount of, yeah, it would be insane.
Millions of dollars are bet every weekend on NFL games in Nevada and New Jersey.
Yeah.
Millions. Yep. So, yeah. But
yeah, we are a movie podcast.
Sure.
So just
who's going to write the Aaron Rodgers movie?
I'll do it.
Yeah. Who plays Aaron Rodgers?
Me.
It
won't be made for another 20 years. I'll look his age.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Bringing you the most important and the most entertaining news that you will get all day. It's the movie news with a couple of rabble-rousers, Jackson and Home at the Movies. It's Bored and Annoyed with the news.
Okay, so let's get into the news.
Okay. We have a lot of news.
So Kevin Feige was promoted to the chief head of or chief creative officer for Marvel. So now he supplants, like, he's in charge of everything: comics, TV, video games.
Oh, really?
He oversees everything now. So
do you like that?
Yes and no. I think you have to like it because, I mean, to me, this is a triumph of competence over greed or incompetence.
Okay.
Feige has done nothing but fucking win. He's like that song, All I Do Is Win.
Sure.
You know, I don't know who does that. I'm not down with the kids. But yeah, anyways, so that's great. The fear is he's going to be stretched too thin.
Wasn't that a Skip Bayless, Tim Tebow, like, manufactured thing? All he does is win.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. If you want to cut that in here.
Oh, man. That was when that show was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
They both have gone on to make lesser shows.
Yes.
I
would agree.
And I still like Shannon Sharp.
He drives me crazy.
He's funny as fuck.
The fact that he's the former player and he loses bets with Skip Bayless on NFL shit all the time, I find hilarious.
I do too.
I mean,
I do too.
Skip Bayless talking out of his ass playing the fucking... He's basically the bad guy professional wrestler of the sports media world.
He is.
Yes.
I mean, especially the way he talks about Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, boy.
It's just so goddamn biased.
We're back to football.
Goddamn. Anyways, the great thing about this is that Jeff Loeb is going to be leaving. He was the head of the TV division.
Okay, so would he have had control of like the Disney Plus shows then?
No, those were by inception were Marvel Studios projects.
Okay.
So
where are these new? I mean, if he's gone from TV, what are they going to do something with that again? What's the plan with that?
We don't really know yet.
They might as well just not.
But there's nothing like there's the Hulu shows that were being worked on. Like there was that MODOK show and like Kung Fu Monkey or whatever the fuck it was called. I don't know what that one was called. Actually, I don't remember anymore. But
Kung Fu Monkey, I like it.
Monkey or something. Anyways, yeah, I think they're gonna maybe look. I mean, because there was like the Ghost Rider show that was gonna go to I think Hulu, and then that got scrapped. I think Runaways is probably nearing the end of its run because I don't think many people watch it on Hulu. There's that shitty
Fox X-Men show. Isn't there like a...
Is there?
I feel like there is.
The Gifted?
Yeah, something like that. And then there's the FX X-Men show.
That's The Gifted.
No, that one's something else. No, the one on FX, I watched one season of and I thought it was really good.
I don't even know if he's in charge of those.
No, I don't think he is.
But yeah, so
those would be Fox Marvel properties, right?
Yes, yeah. So this is fantastic to me because I feel like Jeff Loeb really screwed the pooch on so many shows.
Well, apparently he did because there's like 2 that are good.
Yeah, Daredevil and Punisher. And Punisher still shit the bed in the second season, so it doesn't matter.
Well, I never watched it. I stopped.
He's the smart one of the two of us.
Apparently so.
Yep, he's the one who's got the brains. Yeah, but while we're on the Marvel train, this is the Marvel Shill Hour. We've got some...
Marvel Shill Hour.
I mean, that's what it would be if I was running the show.
How long would if we took all of the Marvel conversations out of the podcast and just made a Marvel compilation, how long would it be? 50% of the total runtime of Bored and Annoyed? Or
I would say
25, 30?
Somewhere between 25 and 45 is what I would guess. I mean, every now and then we get a Hereditary where we talk an hour.
Yes, that's true.
But yeah, it's sticking with the Marvel news. Not everybody's such a fan, and the hate just keeps on
Haters,
coming.
Man. Haters gonna hate.
So the great Francis Ford Coppola, director of the Godfather trilogy.
And Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Bram Stoker's.
Bram Stoker.
He's Bram Stoker. That's the porn parody. Yeah, he finds the Marvel movies to be despicable movies. He was going on about defending Martin Scorsese's most recent comments.
I don't understand despicable. Did he explain?
He thinks that he says, I don't think that anybody gets anything out of seeing the same movie over and over again. They're despicable. They need to be stopped, kind of thing. To me, I'm like, wow, what? Okay. Are you guys like competing for some sort of like get off my lawn trophy? Like, am I not aware?
It is very get off my lawn-esque.
Yeah.
Totally.
So I don't know. I'm lost. Thoughts?
I think they both are wrong.
Yeah.
Well, it stinks though, because I like both of their movies overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're just douchebags about this. I think they're wrong. I mean, they have the right to not like the movies, but to call them despicable doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. Well, it's hyperbolic.
Yeah.
And I think we need a little less of that in society. I mean, to me, it's like you clearly haven't watched them all if you think that all of them are the same. I mean, I would never put Ragnarok and Winter Soldier.
No, that's true. That's very true.
They're not even in the same league.
There's a formula, though, overall.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, there's a formula for hero journey movies,
Sure.
which they tend to be. And they're 3-act structure movies, which most movies are. I mean, it's like most things have a structure.
True.
Well, most things. So I feel like I hate that argument. It's like, yes, of course it has a structure. Everything fucking has a structure. Your house has a structure. Is your house a ripoff? I mean, maybe it is. I don't know.
It is of other houses.
Of other houses.
Yeah.
Your house, you live in a despicable house.
It's true.
Despicable.
You know what? I've changed my mind. He's right.
He's right.
Yep.
Despicable, everything. James Gunn had a nice, response to this. God damn. I mean, they even got Papa Bob Iger, as I like to call him, Papa.
Jesus, it is shill hour.
It's shill hour, yeah.
What did Bob Iger say?
They actually got him to swear, like in an interview. Which
So people are annoyed at this point.
He is annoyed in that he's like, it feels disrespectful to the people who work very hard.
It's very true. It is disrespectful.
Yeah. He's like, are you trying to tell me that the blood, sweat, and tears that say like a Ryan Coogler put into like Black Panther is any less than what Scorsese puts into his movies? He's like, I just don't buy into that.
Okay.
And he's like, and if they want to, I think he said shit on movies. He actually swore in an interview, which is shocking to me. That
Disney man swore.
Disney man swore. That's the headline right there. But yeah, he said if they want to shit on movies, that's their right. But it's just like, I don't know. I don't.
They should ask him to direct a Marvel movie.
Yeah, right. If it's so easy and so despicable,
and it'd be interesting.
I would love to see it. Actually,
it'd be interesting. Here's a character and a basic outline. Like, you think that we stink at making this? Are you saying that generally there's no way to make this good? Prove it.
Scorsese,
make it good. Make a good movie out of this.
Scorsese does the Sinister Six movie, mob centric, and Francis Ford Coppola does the Luke Cage reboot movie.
I would have been good with Francis Ford Coppola, Doctor Strange Part 2.
Maybe.
I mean,
maybe.
Fuck it.
I think there would be way less special effects.
Yeah, okay. I mean, please.
But
I'm fine with that.
I love that Francis is like, oh, they're despicable movies. And it's like, you made Godfather 3.
I have never seen that movie.
That is coming to a podcast near you. Children.
It's that bad, huh?
We are doing
Is
that.
It that bad? Or is it just lame because of the first two being so good?
No, I think it's actually kind of an atrocious movie.
Okay.
It's offensively long and has virtually nothing to say or do.
Okay.
I hated it. There's like almost a pro-incest subplot in it.
Okay.
So
sounds up my alley.
Jesus Christ. All right. This show is not for children. Something that might be for children, though. We've got great reviews coming in for The Mandalorian.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
People have seen it, or the first couple episodes.
They saw the first half an hour.
Because we don't trust TV reviews.
No, we don't. But they did see the first half an hour of the first episode. They don't want to
And they like it?
They like it a lot. They say it's a nice merging of like TV and movie.
What is it, November 1st?
11th.
Is that
11th, I believe.
Okay, I'm really pumped for that. And they're only one episode a week? Is that correct?
So smart.
I think so.
So smart.
Oh, it's smart, but I really want to just watch the whole fucking thing.
I know. I wonder what they have planned, because I think this is, 8 or 10 or 12 episodes?
Who knows?
Like that.
But I'm really pumped. It looks good.
But I wonder what they have coming out to, like, okay, you've stayed for the full 3 months, finished The Mandalorian. Here's our next show.
Sure.
Here's our next show. I wonder what's going to happen there. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that is great. I mean, I didn't expect any less, though.
Right.
It looks really good.
How do you feel about, we're sticking with Star Wars, how do you feel about the new Star Wars trailer?
It still does nothing for me.
Yeah.
Nothing new. I got
Thank you.
People are loving this trailer. I mean, outside of like the Emperor talking more and seeing like the back of he's sitting in the throne.
Right.
Outside of that, which I'm excited for, I still feel nothing as far as like deep care for what happens to Kylo and Rey.
Right.
That's the problem, I think.
I look at I love the look of things.
Sure.
Like there's I think there's a shot of the Millennium Falcon kind of joining like a fleet of things, and that looked pretty
Return
cool.
of the Jedi-esque.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it is.
It is. There was a nice sort of like a profile shot where somebody was riding like a horse type creature.
Yep, saw that.
I liked that shot.
It's going to be a fun adventure movie, I'm sure.
I think it looks beautiful. I think it's one of the best looking Star Wars like trailers we've had. The cinematography looks great. I loved the music. I loved the slight alteration to make it like this even more, somehow a more triumphant version of the Star Wars theme.
Sure.
I don't even understand how that's possible. But
JJ. It's all JJ.
Well,
JJ and John.
John Williams, the fucking
His
man.
final go, apparently.
It's so fitting too.
It's probably the biggest like thing that will be not talked about is his impact on movies in general.
Yes.
And that series of movies.
I mean, what he did. I mean, you've watched so many of the making of Star Wars, and you heard about like that first screening where people saw it and there was no music, and they were like, I'm not so sure about this.
So key to everything happening.
And Spielberg was one of the few people who was kind of on board for that original cut, because he was like, oh, I like the characters, I like the story. But when the music comes in, it's all of a sudden it's this huge monster of a
raise
movie.
you out of your seat. Now, I don't think the music's been as good in the last two.
No, I love Rey's theme, though, especially in the first one, even though it's got like a Christmas bells kind of thing to it. But I love it because it's different and it's new and I like it.
But yeah, what do you think? Can we just? Do you want to give your thoughts on who do you think? Like Rey's parents? Are we nerdy enough to give a shit?
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I don't like. That's the thing is like they're trying to tug at your heartstrings. Like this is the epic conclusion. I'm like I just don't give a fuck.
Isn't that sad? Can you imagine if people felt that way after Empire Strikes Back came out?
Right. Yeah. Like, well, they just didn't. It's all in the last movie. They just didn't deepen the characters.
It's true.
They didn't deepen the connection.
It's funny too. We always talk about the anti-Star Wars douchebags and the Star Wars douchebags, and like typically I'm very the anti-Star Wars douchebags. Right. But like I was on I'm on a Facebook group for the Anaheim Celebration 2020 or whatever, the Star Wars convention.
Sure.
And it's like somebody makes a completely relevant and like sane comment regarding the problems with the movies, and it's just like they pile on, we don't need your hate here, and it's like, no, it's not really hate. He's making a general point, that is correct.
Yep.
If you weren't up your own ass about this,
it's the problem of
fandom, toxic fandom.
The fact that if you have a detracting point of view, the fact that you're lumped in with the racist fucks who, I mean, that sucks, because you can be a level-headed person who's like, nah, Asian people are cool. I love black people.
I just don't like the Asian girl in the
I just didn't like her character. It has nothing to do with race, literally at all.
Yeah.
And I actually kind of liked her character. I hated that moment. That's what I hated. I loved that she was like a fangirl of like, oh, you guys are like the ones who saved her. I like that idea. I don't like that moment. It
feels
her.
like she was put to the asshole's point, because there are assholes about this who I think kind of have a legitimate point, where it's like it felt very between her and like what's her name from Jurassic Park's character, and like
Laura
the whole
Dern,
plot. It's funny, people talk about like the whole feminist Star Wars thing, and they bring up the Rose, the Asian character. That's not even the one that bothers me the most. The one that bothered me the most was the whole Poe Dameron's whole plot, and how like they made up this convoluted, stupid thing.
Yep. Well,
that's the one that feels not organic and wedged into me, where it's like it doesn't make any sense.
I don't even look at it as like it's a feminist thing. I look at it as just shitty writing, because you made something where you made her look so much worse because she just couldn't be open with communication. And I thought the idea of like the rebellion was that they were a different kind of hierarchy. There was trust. There was a free flow of information. We're not like a dictatorship. We share things. But no. made a horrible plan and didn't tell anybody about it. And then when somebody's like, hey, this might not be the best idea.
She could have just solved it in a second. Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah, but she's a strong woman leader. Her and Leia are strong female leaders. Pink hair, buns in their hair, no matter how they look, they're strong. And he is a cocky, arrogant, chauvinistic male.
And I even liked the idea that he needs to like have trust in those above him. I liked that as an idea, but it's like,
it was so stupid.
It's all about execution in that movie.
It didn't feel...
So many good ideas executed so poorly.
Well, two of the biggest eaters of that, and we've spent so much time talking about this movie, but two of the big eaters of screen time in that movie are that plot and the Casino Planet plot, and they both stink. They both don't make much sense. It's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully JJ can clean up some of the filth that was left.
The movie series actually, for a series that is built entirely on nostalgia, could have actually used a little bit more of like understanding of what the fans wanted. We wanted more Luke. We wanted more Leia.
Yeah, but didn't he get quoted one time saying like, if everybody likes your movie, then he doesn't like that. He wants there to be like a...
I think that's a really dumb way to think.
I think so too. Sorry, if everybody likes the movie, what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. It stunk.
Something else that stinks.
Sure.
Jared Leto.
Yeah.
He's a stinky man.
He tried to... I had heard that he was upset about the fact that they made the Joker movie. I wasn't aware that he was trying to like...
He was actively...
talk people into not making it.
He was actively... contacting producers and heads of Warner Brothers trying to kill the movie. And reportedly, one of the reasons the budget was so low was because they were trying to kill the movie so that the director wouldn't make it. Todd Phillips wouldn't make it. And that is partially due to Jared Leto.
He really wanted this Joker that he played to be like a big deal, didn't he?
Apparently so.
Ugh.
I mean, how can you look at your performance in that movie? Look at the reaction you got. Look at just the reaction you got from your first photo.
Yeah, but he would say that like they cut his movie and he didn't have the character, like it didn't play out the way he would have wanted or whatever. But yeah, no, he's just sorry.
David Ayer. So there are now conflicting reports on this. David Ayer said like the original report, which I believe was a Hollywood Reporter report, actually had dealt with this whole thing. And David Ayer, the director of Suicide Squad, was apparently not a fan of Leto's performance, which is why most of his scenes were cut.
Interesting.
But now David Ayer is coming out and saying, no, I liked it. I'm like, no, David, you finally looked like you did something right. Keep your mouth shut.
Right.
But no, you made Bright. And you made Suicide Squad, and now you're saying you're a fan of Jared Leto.
Suicide Squad, baby.
That's strike 3 for me.
I'm sorry. It might be sacrilegious, but I'm not a huge Jared Leto guy in general. I'm not a huge fan of his.
I liked him in Dallas Buyers. And I mean, he has like nice little bit roles in good movies like American Psycho and Fight Club.
That's right. He was in American Psycho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean... Am I really going to say he's a talented actor because he had bit parts in great movies?
No. He's probably a talented actor. I don't like him. He's not my style. I thought he was all right in the Blade Runner movie, I guess.
His problem is that he's so far up his own ass. He's like the South Park episode where they smell their own farts. That's him. Like embodied. He's the
I don't
physical.
like him.
Yeah, no.
He can go away.
He's
not ever going to play Joker again, is he?
No, I think that's done.
Okay.
He's not in the Suicide Squad reboot, and he's not in
Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey. So I think we can finally wash our hands of this whole situation. Paul Dano.
Love me some Paul Dano.
Paul Dano. We're on the Batman.
The Riddler.
He's the Riddler.
I love it.
This is so great. I am so excited. Last week I was like, oh, Zoe Kravitz, not so sure. Back on board.
Yeah, he's great. I love Paul Dano. I think that There Will Be Blood, his role in that is one of the best. Like, it's amazing.
I just found out he got like a week's worth of preparation for that movie.
He did damn fine. That makes him seem like a disturbing human being.
Because like the guy who was going to play his character dropped out with like a week or two left in the movie.
Glad it happened.
Yeah. I mean, he is a spot on actor. I really like him.
Big fan of that.
So this is great cast. Not only is he a good actor though, he's like perfect casting for the Riddler.
Yeah, it's going to be a different Riddler than I would be used to. I would
He's
imagine.
going to be disturbing.
Yeah, good.
He's going to be disturbing, and it's going to be fantastic. This movie is going to be glorious. I am so ridiculously excited.
I'm excited too.
The thing.
Ed Cohen's excited too.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
He does. He seems excited.
He does, yeah. I mean, the thing that really gets me though is like, it's not just that it's Paul Dano. That's like a part of the puzzle. It's the fact that we're getting closer to the confirmation that this is in fact going to be loosely based on the Long
Halloween. Okay.
And the more villains we get
save
cast,
some villains though, because they're going to have to make a sequel to this.
You can have them come back.
Okay.
I mean, that's the great thing about Long Halloween is none of them are like the main focus. That's true. Oh, and apparently Terminator Dark Fate is the best modern Terminator movie since T2. That's the early rumblings from the reviews.
So it's better than the last turd I left in the toilet when I took a shit last?
I mean, yeah, that's not saying much. Yeah. Genesis was garbage.
I'm not excited for this. I'm sorry. I'm just not. I can't be excited for this.
You know what I'm hoping? And maybe I'm a petty asshole for saying this, but I am hoping that, God, what's his name? The director. I forget his name. Anyways, he was the first director on Deadpool. I think Tim Miller, I think.
Okay.
I am hoping that he comes out and he makes a better movie than Deadpool 2. So he proves the goddamn point.
I hope so, but I can't imagine.
You don't think it'll be better than Deadpool 2?
It looks bad, dude.
Okay. All right. I hope you walk out pleasantly surprised.
I hope so. I'm not excited for it. Every time I see a trailer, I die a little bit inside.
Yep.
But I'll go see it opening day because it's Terminator. I've seen all the Terminators. I will continue to see all the Terminators. And
we can literally cut the last like 15 seconds, put that in front of just about any major franchise, and we can say that this is how cinema dies.
Yes. Well, it's how it lives on because we keep seeing them. The good new movies nobody wants to see.
Yes.
Like Alita.
Yep.
Would love an Alita 2 instead of a Terminator 6, personally. Would much rather have Alita 2, James Cameron.
I would take an Alita 2 over ever getting another Jurassic Park.
Yes.
Another Terminator.
Yes.
Probably even another Alien or Predator. I would trash all four franchises, never get another one to get an Alita 2.
Me too. That's crazy.
It's actually a little sad to say. Like I'm a little heartbroken to say it, but I think it's tough.
So this is craziness. And you're not with me on the John Carter thing. That's fine. We have to do an episode on John Carter one of these
eventually.
days. But I would rather have John Carter 2 and Alita 2 than any more Star Wars movies.
That is such a statement.
They haven't made one yet that's gotten me like The Force Awakens I liked a lot, but since then
it's the best one of the
new batch of movies.
Yeah.
But since then,
nothing.
And The Force Awakens, like I've seen that universe before, so it's like there was more you could do with the other two, maybe.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
More surprises.
Yeah. Well, even though they follow, like, what's his name would think they're despicable movies because they follow like formulas and shit. But yeah, I really want to see what old Ed Norton's going to do in Alita Part 2.
Yeah.
I'm way more excited about that than most of this other shit.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what we should eventually do is we should just cut all Disney news out of the news section. And then we could just have like one story a week.
Yeah, or we could just do like a Disney minisode that we release along with the regular episode. So these people that don't want to listen to Shillville can.
All right. That's what we'll call it, Shillville.
There you go.
All right. We're going to talk off air about this because this is a fantastic idea. Yeah, this is fucking great. Do you want to go into our main topics and main reviews this week?
Yeah, so Bored and Annoyed with Zombies, and this is due to the release of Zombieland 2.
Yes.
It's another Zombieland movie. It's very Zombieland-ish.
Yep.
Zombie stuff.
Hey, if you like
funny one-liners.
Do you like jokes? Do you like some text that shows up on the screen?
Filled with jokes, filled with text.
Texts and jokes.
I thought it was pretty good. Overall, I do think that I was about done with it after 45 minutes to an hour. I was like, okay, this has worn out its welcome with me.
Right.
I get it. These jokes aren't as funny as they were in the beginning. And I don't know how much of that is due to just the movie, like kind of it just felt like, okay, every scene, it's like the same bullshit all the time.
Yeah.
Or if it's due to the overall problem with the zombie genre, where it's like, I've seen this so many times that I don't care.
Right.
I like the characters, all of them.
Yep.
Pretty much. I thought Abigail Breslin was a little... I don't know. Her character seemed... It's almost like they forced her out of the movie for a while because she's not interesting. Or funny.
Yep.
Or, you know what I mean? But overall, the other three are great.
Yeah.
There's a new character, this blonde ditzy girl. That's probably my favorite part of the movie, to be honest with you.
She was something else.
So yeah, I'll give it a C plus.
Yeah,
C plus.
I mean, like, I think you walked in with a little higher hopes.
Yeah, I would say so. You seemed very down on the trailer, if I remember correctly.
I think the trailer looked like garbage. It made me realize, though, after the movie, because I think I'm a B minus. I think it's all about expectations.
Maybe.
Because I walked in thinking this movie was going to be dog shit.
It certainly was not dog shit.
Yeah, and when I walked out, it made me realize the thing about trailers is that trailers are tough for comedies because comedy is all about timing. And when your trailer's goal is to shove as much shit in it as possible to make people watch it, you can fuck up your timing and make your movie seem unfunny. And there were some jokes that did not land in the trailer that landed in the movie for me. Now, it's not all winners. There are some groany fucking jokes in this. And I saw this with another Tuesday crowd. So...
How were they?
I had a woman who did the whole... like... Everybody hates this guy. This guy or this gal who repeats the joke and then laughs after the joke happened.
It's the worst.
Shot him in the head. I mean, kill yourself. Like just okay, don't kill yourself.
Jeez.
Nobody kill yourself.
It was recently Mental Health Day, Alex.
Oh shit.
No, I get it. No, I get it.
Just gag yourself.
I mean, I liked the first one better. Doesn't mean it's literal, but it makes,
Right. The first one is...
No, I mean version. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, right. Personally.
But, and the first movie is leagues better. But
I don't know.
I think the first one is... I think
it's been too long since I've seen it to say that. I feel like it was fresher at the time, but maybe it would fall a little bit just because...
I think you're right. But I think it's the problem with sequels in that, and it's always about this world building shit. It's like you're building a world. The first one has so many new things all the time. This is just more of the same, which is always the sequel problem. The real problem for me is that once the last chess piece of characters is put into place, the movie becomes autopilot.
Yeah, it's got the Marvel third act.
Oh, I don't know if I go that far.
It's got the Marvel third act.
Oh boy, he's trying to hurt me now.
I bet you, what's his name would think this was just a despicable movie.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. I think he'd be wrong. It's just cookie cutter by the end. It's very predictable. It's insanely predictable. You
weren't on the edge of your seat when Woody Harrelson did that thing, and
no.
Okay.
I wasn't on the edge of my seat for literally any of the movie.
I would agree with that.
But I had a little bit of fun with the characters.
It was funny.
Emma Stone is a goddamn queen.
You love you some Emma.
She is And you know what? It's not all looks. Because goddamn is her personality fucking great in this.
Jeez, you're like in love with Emma Stone, huh?
You know what? That's my type of woman. Emotionally distant, slightly abusive.
Yeah, she was good.
Yeah, no,
was good.
She's great. Yeah.
I'm really tired of what's his name's shtick.
Jesse Eisenberg.
It makes me worried to watch that The Art of Self-Defense movie,
Right.
which I still need to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love Woody Harrelson hanging out with the youngins.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's, I think Jesse Eisenberg in the first, it was like a tie between him and Emma Stone for my favorite character, but Woody Harrelson was my favorite in this one.
He's just great in everything.
I mean, I liked him in the first, don't get me wrong, but here he just kind of takes the cake, but I think it's because Eisenberg, I don't think he's actually that great of a boyfriend. I don't think that they dealt with some of his issues. Because he's just kind of like, we can deal with like the proposal thing later. Turn off the lights. And it's like, she has issues, man. Like, are you blind?
Yeah, but that's just like his personality.
Yeah, he's an idiot. I'm sorry. He's got a girl who is like leagues out of his league.
The blonde or Emma Stone?
Well, I mean, both if we're... Well, no,
in this universe, not really.
I suppose, yeah.
Right.
He's a living, breathing thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, the bar for standards is way lowered.
You know, a lot of us men would be better off in this zombie universe.
It's not entirely wrong.
But yeah, it was I don't know. I mean, spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers.
I don't have much to spoil because it's exactly what you'd expect.
Yep. T-800's like the new and improved zombie.
Oh yeah, that's
who's
like
smarter.
the world building thing. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the crux of the story. And Jesse Eisenberg does the proposal. Doesn't go as planned. They leave. Then they got to do the whole like we're on the road again thing.
Yep. Some funny bits. Like I said, I think the blonde ditzy girl was my highlight of the movie. She was really funny.
She's like a Kelso type character from 70s show.
Yep.
Like, you know, like unbelievably stupid, like out of reality stupid.
Not real, right.
But fun.
Funny, yes.
Enjoyable. Also really realistic with the whole like I've been in a freezer for like 8 years or whatever.
Right, funny.
We're going to have sex. This is happening. And it's like, all right. I also was not the biggest fan of like Emma Stone just kind of gets over that.
I mean, it is kind of her problem though. She kind of caused that to happen.
I mean, I'm not saying she's innocent in it.
Plus they do a thing where it feels like watching the movie that it was 5 minutes ago when really she's been gone like a month or whatever.
Yes.
So there's a little bit of that going on where it feels way more sudden than I think they probably wanted to let on.
Right, which I think makes Eisenberg look a little worse as a
more
character.
Of a jerk, right.
Yeah. And it's that moment where like she comes down, like the blonde comes down the stairs after, like, but you see it coming a mile away.
Right, yeah, that is true. You know that's going to happen.
Like you're just waiting for it. Even the way they frame the shot, you're like, oh, well, there's room.
The cringe isn't as cringy if you're sitting with the cringe for like a full 90 seconds before it actually hits.
I don't know about that.
I mean, I was like, by the time it happened, it was like, it wasn't like a moment. You know what I mean?
Right. But yeah, I do absolutely adore Emma Stone in these movies. She has some of the best interactions with characters in this.
I'm starting to like her. I wasn't a fan.
I'm glad you're coming around.
I am coming around. I liked her in the Queen movie. Yep. I thought she was great in that.
Yep. I still think she was great in La La Land.
You loved her in La La Land. Yeah.
I think she deserved... She won an Oscar for that, right? I'm starting to just like lose... Okay. I'm losing track because I just don't give a fuck. But yeah, what else is... the hippie world... That was a bit much.
Oh, really?
I thought it was pretty stupid.
It didn't make any sense in this world that would ever be a thing.
Right.
It was
over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They melt the weapons down. You're living in a zombie apocalypse.
Yep. I mean, nobody's that stupid. Like nobody is that stupid.
There are hippies that stupid.
You know what? That's
you know what I mean?
Wrong. Yeah. And you know what? I mean, if we want to get political, this movie's got a little bit of both sides.
I would agree with that.
And I like that because I like the fact that they're like, hey, if you're stupid enough to think you don't need weapons in a zombie apocalypse, you're a fucking moron.
Yes.
And the guy who's like, hey, I'm keeping my gun because that's a smart thing. guy's pretty on point.
Yeah, I would agree.
So the Luke Wilson scene,
Yes.
I thought that was the moment in the trailer where I was like, I'm not on board with this movie anymore.
I loved that moment in the trailer. That was funny to me.
And it was fun in the movie.
With the Silicon Valley guy.
Yes.
Quidditch or whatever his name is.
Yeah. Great. I enjoyed the hell out of that.
Yeah, it was good.
I thought they could have done something with the whole, like, I felt like there was a little bit of a moment where you could have challenged Emma Stone's sort of like, oh, this is just like my boyfriend or my ex or whatever. You could have done something there, tried to challenge their relationship, but also at that point in the movie, it's kind of like, well, are we going to be a fun zombie movie or are we going to like get into some character? Yeah, are we going to get into character stuff? And it's like, we just want to be fun, which is fine. It's just the movie is incredibly predictable. We know it's going to come down to zombie invasion because it's the smart guys who can know how to climb. And the hippies have no weapons. And we established that Rosario Dawson doesn't leave her place. And she's going to show up. And, Woody Harrelson needs to do his Native American thing because we established that earlier in the movie. Everything's got to come full circle. Laid it all out there pretty plain as day. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, if you like this kind of thing, you'll probably love this movie, right?
Completely fine.
Yeah.
Little offensive with how stupid you think I might be as an audience member, but it's fine.
Yeah, but I mean, it made you laugh for the most part, right?
It did. It's just the whole like, you could have tried. Like if I was in a creative writing class, I'd be like, man, like this is fine for like a first draft.
Really?
Yeah, you did fine. You did okay. You nailed your jokes, but goddamn, your structure is so paint by numbers.
It was very paint by numbers.
But that leads us to our main topic.
Zombies in general.
Paint by numbers? ?
Well, so I've discovered that it doesn't need to be. There's been a couple things recently that have come out that I think are very strong, like, you get invested in them, and they both are from South Korea. The first would be Kingdom.
Kingdom is fucking fantastic.
We reviewed for this podcast, so if you'd like to listen to Kingdom, go to boredandanoid.com, type in Kingdom, you'll find our review of Kingdom.
Yeah, I gave you the abridged version. It's fucking fantastic.
It is. It's really good. So I watched another zombie movie from South Korea, or that wasn't a movie, but this was a movie. It was called Train to Busan.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And the plot of this one is basically guy's kind of he's a workaholic and he's got a daughter, and his daughter, the movie starts with him bringing home a birthday present. It's her birthday, and she unwraps it and it's a Nintendo Wii. And she looks all sad, and then it like cleverly pans over, and there's already a Wii that she has already. So like it really does a good job of setting up like okay, like I'm getting to know the characters. I already feel sad for this little girl. And it ends up being she wants to visit her mom who lives in Busan. Now, I'm not from South Korea, so I don't know the geography of this. But apparently the next day they're going to take a train. She talks him into taking a train to Busan. Meanwhile, there is a zombie apocalypse that breaks out. And these are the 28 Days Later style zombies, the fast, and it is emotionally taxing, this movie.
Oh, wow.
It's fucking great.
Okay.
Great. And I'm watching it and I'm like, see, this is what we need. We need some more stuff like this.
Have you dissected it to figure out what made it so much better than other ones?
It's a very specific circumstance. It's something that's a little bit more interesting. They're stuck on a train for almost the entire movie.
Sure.
There are characters that are built up into actual real characters that I give a shit about.
Okay.
And then the main thing would be that the social commentary in this one was a little bit different than what I'm used to from the zombie genre.
Can you give it away without? No, well, you can't give it away without spoiling it, I guess.
I will say it's the haves and have-nots, and the way leaders treat, the way people are kind of under the spell of leadership, and it's great. It's kind of fucking great.
It's kind of how Kingdom kind of treated it.
Sure.
There was a decent amount of
Kingdom
social.
is so good. Well, that's just it. The best zombie shit are the social commentary, because there's the zombies as a genre and as a creation. There is so much you can do with the concept of like mindless people.
Yes.
Like the dead, like the mindless droning people, whether it be, I mean, I guess especially if it's the slow kind of zombie, because then you can really have fun with the, hey, look, this is society, and we all just kind of get on
the conveyor belt.
Right.
Yep.
But yeah, the best zombie shit to me is that kind of shit. Now, the other type of zombie shit is let's have fun with the zombie apocalypse concept, which is Zombieland, or even Walking Dead doesn't necessarily have fun with it. But what would you do? What are the steps you would need to take, and how would you handle the zombie apocalypse?
Right. Well, I think that's inherently kind of fun, because it's like the doomsday prepper kind of fun.
Sure.
Do you have your gas mask?
Yes.
That's fun. I would throw Warm Bodies in there a little bit too.
Okay.
About
Warm Bodies. Yeah.
I enjoyed Warm Bodies.
So did I.
It's a teen romance in a zombie skin, but
I'm in love with what's her name from Warm Bodies.
She's amazingly, she's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. And she's so likable in that movie, too.
I would agree.
She's very girl next door. Who is that? That was Nick something.
Nicholas Hoult was the zombie.
Yeah, he was good in that. He was good. So Jackson and I are kind of coming at this from opposite ends, which is actually, I guess, a lot of our podcast. I'm not inundated with zombie shit. Like, I've never watched The Walking Dead. No, that's not true. I've seen like 3 episodes.
Okay.
But I'm coming to it in the I was never really interested, because I sort of got the commentary without even seeing the movies. I was like, okay, I get it. People are idiots, and they can be misled or whatever. But the older I've gotten, the more I've seen good zombie things. Like I said, Warm Bodies, the first Zombieland, Kingdom.
Kingdom's fucking awesome.
Kingdom is absolutely amazing. It's my favorite. To me, it's the favorite zombie thing I've ever seen.
Really?
But I haven't seen
the George Romero zombie stuff.
Exactly. So you got to take my opinion with a grain of salt.
Yeah, you suck.
I know.
Right.
But so I look at it, I'm like, what is missing from the genre? Like what? Like we are. It's a fad. It's slowly dying. What needs to happen to it to keep it relevant, keep it interesting?
I think like Kingdom did what needs to happen a little bit, or this Train to Busan movie, because like I'm not used to the like, you got to take zombies and do interesting creative things with them that have not necessarily been done. Right. I mean, sure, they're still about social commentary. They're still like, you have to kind of digest what it all means as far as a metaphor is concerned, but you got to put them in interesting spots.
Okay, so I'm as the person who admitted to maybe finding them a little tiresome, I'm going to pitch some ideas to you, and as the zombie fan, tell me if you would even remotely be on board for this.
Okay.
All right, so you talk about like they're like, people going about their like daily lives, get on the conveyor belt of life. What if you treat zombies, and this is like a zombie apocalypse, what if zombies almost think that they're just living their daily lives? So they go to their office, but they don't do it. They're like homers. They go to like the office and they like hammer on the keyboard, but nothing's happening.
Sure.
It's like they're sleepwalkers, but if you stop them, they attack you and eat your face and eat your brain.
Okay.
So what if that's...
So they're not out. Their main goal is not to feed.
Yes.
They're just trying to, there's a piece of them that's left in there.
Yes.
And they're just I mean, I like it. It is very Romero-esque in a sense, but Romero still want to eat everything they see. Right. That's the difference.
So maybe it's like they have like a peripheral vision type thing. Like don't get in their sight or you're fucked.
So people have to live in society with these creatures just around.
Yes.
Is this a comedy?
I think you have to hit it as a comedy. I think that's how that one works.
Is your main character a zombie? Or is your main character like a person?
I think if you make him a zombie, you end up in like warm bodies territory.
Sure.
But I'm not sure if that's a bad thing because that's like the only one of its kind.
Yeah, I would agree. I like the idea. Why not?
Okay.
It's a new situation for zombies.
All right. Now I've got another one.
Okay.
Now this one gets into world building ideas. We just saw it in Zombieland. I'm literally just taking this the next step forward.
Okay.
Which is the T-800 becomes aware, self-aware. The zombie now understands it's basically a cannibal. Now it does need to feed on brains. It's like the whole if I eat something else,
eating flesh, whatever.
I need that to sustain myself. But now it can think and it can rationalize and it can maybe even communicate in certain ways. Unlike the T-800s in this, which were, I guess, just smart enough to
They're like the 28 Days Later zombies.
Yes.
They're like the fast zombies.
Yes. Yeah. This one would be like maybe they create like a small tribe or like a small society.
And they like run the dumb zombies or like their little soldier, like foot soldier people. And they're like,
this
it's like
you could go really dark with.
Okay. So this one I like if my zombie is my main character.
Okay.
Like they're the protagonists now.
Now, are they the one who does not want to do it anymore? A la Warm Bodies?
I'm of the belief that the zombies aren't necessarily like the evil. They don't have to be the evil thing.
Gotcha.
Because they're just another like life form that's just doing what it needs to survive, right?
Right.
So I think that's where you take that one.
Okay.
Is like the humans are fucking with them, but like what did the zombies do? They didn't create this. Like they're not.
They're the victims.
They're the victims
of society.
Right.
There's your message right there. Do you get tired of, as the zombie guy, do you ever get tired of just like
zombie guy?
You're the resident zombie shill. I mean, I'm just gonna keep throwing shill.
Zombie shit. Okay, zombie shill. Yeah,
no,
okay.
Any sort of shill that I can throw at you, I'm gonna.
That's fine.
Until we figure out which one sticks.
Our audience knows who the real shill is.
There it is. Until I figure out which one sticks, it's.
10 years ago, you could have called me the Star Wars shill, but I've grown beyond that.
Oh, that wasn't even your final form. That.
But yes, continue. Another question for me.
Yeah, do you get tired of like the whole it's a virus? It's a virus that infected their brains.
I think it's the most interesting the less you know about it.
Okay.
I don't think it really matters how it happened. When that happened, I feel like that's a big 28 Days Later push was like, okay, this is going to be like a realistic modern take.
Sure.
Like they're not really zombies. They're the infected.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Which I like, but I don't, that's not what like trips my trigger about zombies. The stuff I like about zombies are like I watched the greatest zombie movie, the greatest zombie thing I think that has ever come out, and I don't think it's particularly close. I watched the original Dawn of the Dead over the weekend.
Right.
And by the way, whoever the hero is that uploaded this to YouTube, there is a 4K version of Dawn of the Dead on YouTube that's the best looking thing I've ever watched. You can watch it for free. Just look it up. It's he's a hero, whoever did this.
He's a hero.
But it is the greatest zombie thing because it is a 50-50 split of the social commentary of, these zombies like remembering their old life and they just go to the mall because that's what they did in life. And there's something human there. It's a great take on like consumerism. Nowadays it would be like an internet thing. I don't know how they do that.
They would do the thing I said by going to the computer.
There you go. They would go to the computer. But it's got that. It's got 4 fantastic characters, fantastic main characters in it. And then what was the other thing? Oh, the zombie apocalypse stuff. Because the plot of Dawn of the Dead is basically within 20 minutes, they end up at this big mall.
Yeah.
And okay, they take the steps. It doesn't have like a normal film structure. It's very much like, okay, they get there. Now, what's the first thing we need to do? Okay, we need to do this. We need to clear the zombies. Now, what if people show up? We got to make sure they don't know we're here. So we'll build a wall here and they won't even know. And wait, we need weapons. Is there a weapons store? Is there this? And it's just fun. Like it takes that, and there's some scary shit in it too. It's got the, we haven't even talked about like zombie gore, which is another thing. I love zombie gore. I want to see guts being eaten. I wish Zombieland had a little more balls with that, but I believe it's not going for that kind of feel.
I don't think so. Yeah.
But no, like, I mean, in the old zombie shit, I mean, they show the fuckers chewing on legs and eating, and it just adds to the mindlessness of it all.
Right.
That's the stuff I like about zombies.
Do you think that
I don't care, and I don't care how those zombies came to be whatsoever.
Sure. Do you think, because that brought up a thought of mine, which is like, I feel like there's something deeply cathartic about watching zombies, which is like people watching society eat itself. Right. Like you just get so tired of society. There's something therapeutic about like, just fucking eat it and destroy it all.
It's so crazy. It's so rife with like metaphorical possibilities.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like the genre is probably more than like other monster types, because you're talking about the dead.
Yes.
So it's
inherently philosophical in a way, because it's like, we all deal with mortality.
Yes.
Now, like Night of the Living Dead, things like that.
Sure.
Do you have a preference on like whether it's the infected or like, slightly half dead people or whatever, or literally like rising from the grave? Do you have a preference? Do you think, like, I feel like you never see the rising from the dead ones anymore. Like that just doesn't exist.
No, I don't have a preference. Although I guess I would say I can't, like, offhand, that's not how I think about zombies working.
Sure. Okay.
Like that never even comes to my mind when I think about zombies.
Technically zombies, right? Like, I mean, are they?
I suppose, but it's not yeah, you're right. So like if a skeletal guy like comes out of a grave,
right?
Like is Pet Sematary a zombie movie?
I actually kind of think of it in that way.
I guess it would be, but it's not, like, to me, that's not in the zombie genre. But you're right. It's a zombie movie.
I don't know.
Gage is a zombie, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah.
Excuse me, not Gage. The little girl.
God damn. That movie sucked. That movie sucked so hard. Yeah, I don't know.
That's funny though, because I almost feel like that's something different, and maybe I shouldn't, but
no. Well, it certainly does not have the tropes. It's a zombie movie by technicality.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, what do you want to see what do you want to see change though?
If they're going to make zombie stuff, I want them to keep on coming with, I'm no genius, but Kingdom is a great example of what I want to see from zombies.
Yeah.
Because there's good characters.
Yep.
It's not cookie cutter. They do some interesting things with like the rules of zombies.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. And it's like, and it doesn't lose its zombie essence. It's very much a zombie genre show.
So you're saying stick within the playground, but make your own rules.
Right. Fuck with it. Yeah. Have fun with it. Do different things.
Yeah.
Give me the zombies in space. Actually, no, John Carpenter did that and it was terrible.
Did he?
Ghosts of Mars was very
I never saw that one.
Oh, God. Is it a disaster?
I would love to see zombies in space.
Sure. Why not? Zombies everywhere. Give me zombie stuff. I'll tell you what I don't want to see ever again, because I'm a zombie fan and I turned it off 15 minutes in. World War Z with Brad Pitt.
That was a snooze fest at the beginning.
Fucking terrible.
Really?
It was just a fucking CGI. Like, I don't know. I didn't make it. I guess, you know what? I should withhold judgment since I didn't watch the whole thing.
Right.
But I bailed on that one. I couldn't watch that.
I was in the same boat. I mean, we weren't even reviewing the podcast at the time. I did. I watched the first 15 minutes. I said, I'm
This isn't for me.
I'm not interested. This is really boring. But it's a character thing. He's not an interesting character.
No.
And also, it's also a structural, or not a structural, but a genre thing in that they didn't do anything new or different.
No, right. There's a lot of zombies, I guess, maybe.
I think that's the thing you got to do is I think if you're going to do a zombie thing, I think you got to maybe get the thing that makes your zombie version original out there like really early in your movie or your show. So people are like, oh, different.
Well, I feel like Zack Snyder kind of nailed a zombie movie with his Dawn of the Dead remake. I thought it was good.
Still going to have to see it.
You haven't seen that?
I haven't seen it.
It's good. It's a good movie.
I mean, it's going to be weird giving a Zack Snyder movie a good review.
It's good. And they do it. It's a very good remake because the only things that are really taken from the original is the fact that there's a mall.
Okay.
But otherwise, you got running zombies this time. They do some kind of creepy good things with the zombies. There's some good humor in it. Ving Rhames is in it.
Always a win.
Yeah, that was the last role he played before he became only Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah. Ian, what's his name?
I don't even remember.
Ian something's cheerleader. Yeah. But Ethan. Ethan Hunt. Ian Hunt, his cousin, will be introduced in the sequel.
I do want to say something before we move on to this, because I'm gagaing over Dawn of the Dead. I'm a little mad at you for not watching it. Maybe next time we do a favorite movies, maybe I'll make you watch that. But I would say that the opening scene, this is a big statement here.
Oh boy.
Opening scene of Dawn of the Dead, the first scene of the movie, might be one of the best opening scenes in any movie I've ever seen in my life.
That is a statement.
It is. So
I love openings. Openings are some of my favorite things in movies.
It's brilliant. And the movie itself is kind of like, it looks like it was made for like $25.
Sure.
Which kind of gives it a little bit more of a character. But the opening scene is literally they're in a news station and it's chaos. Because this is happening out in the outside world or whatever, know, and it's chaos. And you're getting all of the information right up front in a creative way. It's fucking brilliant. It's hard to describe how good it is.
Sounds like good writing.
Go to YouTube.
Watch it for free.
Well, it's just funny, though, because it's like, is it good writing or is it just because, okay, we have all this information to give out. We don't really have the money to do this big, extravagant thing.
I mean, the thing is that they do say that a lack of budget creates creativity.
True. Right.
So, I mean, it could be a little bit of both. I think it's the best way to do your movie is to give as much information as you can at the beginning without sacrificing your reveals. And
it doesn't feel like it's an exposition dump because it's literally two guys on this like news show debating. One of them's like, adamant that like, this is the way we need to handle this. And the other one's asking questions and they're kind of bickering. And it's just like, wow, this is a really creative way of, now I know everything I need to know in 5 minutes.
Yep.
My main two of my main characters are established immediately.
Right.
It's brilliant. It's fucking brilliant. Go find it on YouTube. Watch the first 5-10 minutes. It's a weird opening. It's very strange for a movie to open the way it does, but it's fucking brilliant. I think it's great.
Okay.
I think it's great. Although it's one of my favorite movies. It's my favorite zombie thing. I mean, I've said that before.
Yep.
Romero's zombie trilogy, which it's odd that we're having a show about zombies and you've probably not seen any of these.
Yeah.
Night, Dawn, and Day.
Yep.
They're all so different from each other, and they all like take a different part of the zombie like metaphorical shit. Like part 1 is like straight horror. Part 2 is this like kind of fun comic booky like, oh, this is going to be like our fun, bright zombie movie. And part 3 is like there's scientists and soldiers in a underground bunker. This is when the zombie thing has really gone to shit. And it's just fighting. It's just men fighting amongst themselves. And they're all brilliant. And then he made awful zombie movies later.
I don't know why. Okay, I was getting ready for shit we watched.
Okay.
But then you just said fighting, and I'm like, God damn, a fucking kung fu zombie movie.
The zombies know kung fu?
Yes.
That's all they know.
I mean, yeah. Could you fucking imagine? It would be the coolest fucking shit.
Like humans are kung fu fighting zombies or
yes,
what?
Both. Everybody is kung fu fighting.
If you find a way to make that interesting.
Hey man, it's a kung fu movie and it's zombies. Do I need to do more? I mean, other than, well, okay, I'll elevate the movie. I'll put in some good characters.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's all we got on zombies, I guess. Actually, I do have one more zombie related thing. Speaking of zombies.
What's that?
Speaking of zombies, I watched Rob Zombies.
Oh, there it is.
3 from Hell.
Okay.
I was not overly impressed. I was kind of disappointed.
Is this like a bridge in between shit we watched?
The bridge between two peoples?
The bridge between two peoples?
Yeah, no, this is shit we watched, right.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess we're in shit we watched.
Whoa. Shit we watched.
Yeah, so this is the third movie in the Firefly family trilogy, which was House of a Thousand Corpses, The Devil's Rejects. Now we have 3 from Hell. Mm-hmm. Rest in peace, Sid Haig. He was always my favorite character in these. He played the Captain Spaulding, the clown character.
Yep.
This movie just really felt like something where it didn't feel like inspired. It didn't feel like it has a reason for existing outside of, oh, I kind of want to make a movie with these characters again. You know what I mean? It's not like he had some brilliant idea, because Devil's Rejects, they were kind of on the run. And in this one, they're on the run again. And it's just, there's some fun violence. Some of the humor's fun. It's fun. I like these movies because, well, not so much the first one. The first one you had, what's his name from The Office? Dwight and the singled out guy were your protagonists.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But in the second one, it became, we're following the lunatics now.
Yep.
Okay. And then the third one is that too. Which I like because you don't get that often, where it's like, wait a minute, am I supposed to like these characters? It's kind of fucked up that I like them. Very Joker-esque, I guess.
Yeah.
But Joker is like a sad story, and these people are just monsters.
Yeah.
So there's no like humanity there to kind of latch on to.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean?
I get that.
But it's still fun. It's dirty. It's white trashy. It's very Rob Zombie-esque. But yeah, it doesn't need to be
exist.
Here. Yeah, it doesn't need to be here. Really. Now, would I watch it again? Maybe for some of the fun, like bullshit scenes in it. There's some neat stuff in it.
Great.
C-.
Okay.
I really, really love Otis, who's kind of the leader of the Firefly family. He is Bill Moseley plays him. I love that character. I am a little tired of Rob Zombie casting his wife, if I'm being honest, in every single movie he's made. But this isn't one of my favorite. And I'm not this huge Rob Zombie movie fan, but this is not one of my favorites of his. I would still say that the Lords of Salem would be my favorite Rob Zombie movie.
Okay.
So, good old Rob Zombie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, did you watch anything? Or am I just rolling here?
I did watch.
Okay.
It's just a quick continuation of the anime from last week. They got their recap episode out of the way. True, real beginning of season 2 happened this last week. And goddamn.
My Hero Academia.
Love the violence in this show. It's one of these shows which is like, it could be for a 12-year-old kid. It could be for an 18-year-old kid. Because there's a scene in this where a man's entire upper torso is turned into blood and guts.
That sounds like a Rob Zombie movie.
It's a superhero show.
Okay.
So like a guy's got the power to like basically explode people.
Sure.
He touches a guy bursts into just blood and guts, and it's fantastic.
Sounds fun.
And I love that this is what Japan shows its children. Like
love
this is what's meant for like 12-year-olds
love
there.
It. Good.
And I just love it. But also the characters are awesome. I love the character design. It's a fucking great show. I just love it. I just do.
So are you seeing this weekly then? Where are you watching this?
I'd rather not say.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep.
Life finds a way.
Yes, that's very true. It's very true.
That's it though.
That's literally it. Other than the other one that we have for a shared shit we watched.
Yes, I forgot about that. But no. Lastly, for me, last thing before we get into El Camino would be Watchmen. The series had its premiere. I thought it was great. It's very smart at playing the both political sides, which I like. There's a neat thing in it where so basically the premise is these like white supremacist guys have taken up the mantle of Rorschach as their symbol. So they're like the bad guys, right?
Sure.
So at first I'm like, oh, we're going to do this. But then there's a scene right at the beginning where like a cop pulls a guy over and the cops have masks on. And like you learn that, the cops have masks on because they're being targeted. And like in this situation, this cop goes, but he thinks there's something shifty about this guy. And the cop goes back to his car, like removes his mask, and he has to call into the station to get his gun unlocked. Oh, so like they're bringing up like what that problems that presents, like demonizing the police force. And it's all of a sudden it's like, well, how's this cop supposed to stop anybody if he doesn't, you know what I mean? But
that's interesting.
Yes.
That is interesting.
So there were a couple things there where immediately I'm like, oh, okay, this is good. This feels very Watchmen-esque. It's very good with the world building. I love the fact that it ignores Zack Snyder's movie in favor of the graphic novel Watchmen.
Sure.
And it's got awesome, like, it's kind of weird imagining watching this if you didn't know anything about Watchmen, because it is in your face with like, you know, the Minutemen and all the history of the Watchmen.
That's great.
And you see all the characters and all that shit. It's awesome.
There is original, like the OG characters are in it.
They're mentioned.
They're mentioned.
One of the main characters is Ozymandias from Watchmen, who's being played by Jeremy Irons.
He's in the show?
Yes, he's a character in the show.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, and it's awesome. Yeah, I was very impressed. I believe we spoke about this at some point. Neither of us were really digging what we had seen.
I was thinking the next big thing on HBO was going to be His Dark Materials or His Dark.
Oh yeah, that's coming too. But no, I thought it was great. I'm excited. Apparently, it was a big hit. Tons of people watched it. I'm very interested to hear what non-Watchmen people are going to think though, because. Like I was trying, because I always try to put myself in the place of like, okay, if I didn't know the Watchmen, I might not like this in the same way.
Sure.
But can I even follow what's going on? And I think you could. I don't know.
There's a part of me that just says,
fuck it.
If you, who cares? If you can't follow it, go and read the goddamn graphic novel.
They need to make some money, right?
I mean, you're not wrong.
They need people to watch their show.
You're not wrong. I mean, the thing is like, yeah, you are cutting your pool of people who will be interested if they can't follow it.
Right.
But at the same time, it's kind of like what you said about like Joker and is it incumbent upon them to make that change? It's like, well, if it ruins the artistic value of your show, I would say fuck them. Yeah. Catch up.
Well, and that, you know, it is interesting too, because it's like the world building stuff in it is really neat, but it's like, I'm imagining like, do people understand that like, what's his name was president for 20 years or like that we're in, like, it's hard to even tell that we're in an alternate,
right?
Like it's present day, but
like
it's
the internet still exists,
but only if this happened instead of this.
Does Twitter exist?
It was not brought up, I don't think, but it is it's present day as far as I can tell, but it's Watchmen. So it's like, it's a different present day.
Sure.
You know, it's a what if this happened scenario.
Did
you read the whole graphic novel?
I have still not have. I mean, I know everything that happens.
Okay.
It's just literally reading the pages.
There's something that happens in this that was so fucking weird and so great. And I've got to imagine that everyone who watches it is like, what the fuck? Because even having read it, I was very what the fuck on it, but it was fucking fantastic.
Okay. I mean, I know the major difference between the endings, between the movie and the,
yeah,
and the
it's
graphic
related
novel.
to the ending of the graphic novel.
Good.
Yes.
Good. I mean, well, they go full on comic book at the end in the graphic
fucking
novel.
Crazy. I was a big fan. I'm excited for Sundays. Something on HBO to be excited about for Sundays.
Wow.
I liked it better than any episode of Game of Thrones that I've seen in the last 2 years. I think.
Shit.
Or the last 4 years since they decided
Whoa,
it took
4
them.
years?
How long
Really?
has it been?
I mean, it has been like 4 years since the book.
Since the seventh season, right?
Yeah.
Like 3 or 4? Because they took a huge break, didn't they?
Yeah, 3 or 4. I don't know.
So basically, they took 3 years to write that and produce that.
We gotta go do our Star Wars. I gotta go make a Star Wars.
But yeah, I thought it was great. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Excited about it.
So El Camino.
Yes.
Finally watched it.
Watched El Camino.
Finally watched it.
Yeah, what'd you think?
I was kind of blown away.
It was awesome, wasn't it?
Jackson said last episode, hey, this is really great. And I was like, okay, yeah. And then you watch it, you're like, you're just back. You're just back.
It gives you
in
the warm
world.
and fuzzies.
And it's written by and directed by the same guy.
And he's the shit.
And
that guy he's amazing.
The writing is great. I love the fact that it's the sort of like non-linear storytelling kind of. Love it. Seeing all of those characters again is so great. You're reminded I mean, they have Skinny Pete.
Skinny Pete.
And what's the other guy's name is with him?
What is his name? The tall, dummy kind of guy.
But you see them and you're just like, I forgot how much I loved these guys.
Everyone, right.
And they weren't really in, like, were they even in the last season?
I don't remember.
Because things got really fucking dark in the last season. Yeah. And I felt like they were like, we don't have time for humor with you guys. But goddamn, they are funny as fuck.
They're great. And they have a true admiration for Jesse that tugs at your heartstrings quite a bit.
Oh, just nailed it. Like perfect.
Yeah, it was fucking incredible. It really was. I mean, a lot of people probably don't think this is as good as I thought it was, but I thought it was amazing.
Aaron Paul is so good, and you're just reminded about how much you love Pinkman, even though he still is a frustrating character to me because he still keeps on making bad decisions. Now, spoilers, things slightly turn around for him in this movie.
Yes.
He stops being such a dummy.
Thank God that he things turned out okay for him.
Ish.
He didn't deserve the same fate as Walt. Let's just put it that way.
Did you do a grade last week? I forget.
I said A.
Okay. I think I'm probably on the same boat.
Because I can't grade this as like a movie.
It's not.
It's not. It doesn't. It is, but it doesn't. It feels like a really long, like extended special episode of Breaking Bad.
I feel like it feels like structurally, it's just like I can't put it on like, okay, opening act. Like, you know, I can't break it up in the same way. It does. It feels like a 2-hour episode of Breaking Bad in the best way possible.
Yeah, it's like a reunion. It's like the greatest reunion episode ever made of a TV show.
Right.
It is.
It is. You know what? And it probably would be considered that if it was actually like an actual like reunion episode. Sure. I guess technically it really is.
Yeah.
I mean, grade. I think it's an A. I think
it's fucking great, dude.
I had a blast. I love the cinematography in it. Like they don't do a lot over the top because they don't want to separate it too much from the show.
But you can tell like a lot. Like it's easy to tell when something's a flashback, when it's not, and it's not like over. It's not like, okay, well this is black and white, so it's a flashback. It's done in a creative way.
Yep.
How about the fact? Does anyone do intensity better than Vince Gilligan? I don't think so. Hold your breath and pray that something doesn't like.
Right.
You're like halfway through the movie in this when there's a scene, and are we doing spoilers? Fuck it.
Spoilers.
Okay. There's a scene where he goes back to the apartment of the douchey guy who killed the kid in Breaking Bad, and I forget that character's name. Todd. God, he just looks like a Todd.
That's why I love it. It's like it's the perfect name, and it's also so unassuming, but he is a monster.
Yeah. So he goes back to his house to find this money that he knows is stashed there.
Yes.
And these two cops show up.
Yep. Cops in quotes.
But like, and you're immediately like, oh my God, like he just nails it. You're like holding your breath when these guys show up. Like, fuck, is he going to get seen? And at this point in the movie, like nothing's going. How could this? What could happen to Jesse? The movie would end an hour early.
Yes.
But it's just perfectly done. And they splice in these disturbing scenes of him and Todd, like stuff we didn't see the first time around. It doesn't feel retcon.
No, it doesn't feel retcon. When Todd takes Jesse out to the desert to bury his kill.
Yes.
He kills his housemaid. But not Jesse, obviously. Todd.
And he really liked her.
Yeah, he really
Todd
liked her.
Liked the housemaid.
I mean, he kept making soup while her corpse was in the kitchen. But, he really liked her. She deserved better.
And like the dark humor of Breaking Bad when he drops down the carpet with the corpse in it. It's so Breaking Bad.
But yeah, the scene where he takes him out there and Jesse has the gun. That's another one of those very tense
incredible scene though. Because Jesse's just done.
He's broken.
Right.
He's absolutely, and I think that's the thing is like, I feel like that was the purpose for this, is that Jesse still felt like a broken person at the end. Like he survived and he got away.
Right.
But he felt like he was still a broken person.
Sure.
Because it wasn't, I mean, it was kind of his show, but kind of not. This is like, he gets the Walt ending in this in a
different way.
In a different way. But I loved it. The scene where he goes in and he's got the gun and he's like, oh, you brought a 22 and I got my 45.
Oh yeah, it was amazing.
Amazing. I loved it. That was where that was, and I don't know if I should feel disappointed in this or just happy, but I didn't feel tensity there. I didn't say intensity. I felt joy.
Yeah, no, that was a fun scene.
Because because when he showed up, he had like sort of shed his sort of like scared, and he was owning everything. He walked in the room, he controlled the scene from the second he like, you knew he had a plan.
Yep.
It had a different feel than the other scenes, and you're like, oh, is it bad that I don't feel scared? But at the same time,
no, I don't think you were necessarily supposed to.
Yeah.
No, I think of like those intense scenes, like the one with the cops. Like one of my favorite scenes ever in Breaking Bad was the one where they were at Tuco's house or whatever, and like Tuco has the uncle with the little bell that's on his wheelchair.
Yeah.
And like they try to poison dude's burrito or whatever.
Yeah.
That's the kind of shit where you're just sitting there like, fuck.
Yeah.
And like nobody does it better, I don't think.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It's a show. Yeah, I mean, it's a really well written show, because when you think about like what they do like cinematography wise, they keep it very grounded. They don't do shit with the camera.
Not really, no.
I mean, it's not. Yeah, I think it's a lot in the writing and the performance and like the pacing of the scene, I guess. I guess that's where the direction comes in, is the pacing is on point as fuck. And
back to the El Camino itself, like how bittersweet to see all these characters again and how well of a job they did, how good of a job they did at like Mike's scene.
Mike's scene was great.
What's her name? Jessica Jones's scene.
Yeah, Kristen Ritter. The fact that she came back, I was surprised.
Walt's scene, though, when he's like, hey, at least you didn't have to wait until you were old to do something great with your life.
Fucking fantastic.
It's the most brilliant fucking line, because you're like, wow, that's really sad that he was this, like, no wonder he just spun out of control.
Yep.
Because he was so, like, joyful and into this.
Yep. I loved it, too. I loved that. Okay, let's just talk about, like, I always look at movies, and I guess it's anything that's viewing related, it's like an emotional journey that you're going on as the viewer.
Sure.
And the movie understands, like, at that point in the movie, you have 20-ish minutes left. You have spent an hour and 40 minutes with Jesse Pinkman, you have effectively forgotten about Walter White.
Sure.
It's not his movie. And you start thinking like, oh, he's not going to show up. And then they place him in the movie. And you are absolutely overjoyed.
Excitement to see him.
And the brilliance of the fact that his first scene, he doesn't say a goddamn word and they just walk down the hallway silently together is a directorial, like, that's such a, like, a pro move. Like, you establish their relationship immediately, silently, perfectly, and then it's complimented in that scene at the diner later, but God, it's so fucking perfect. Like, the ending...
I loved the whole ending. The guy, I forget the actor's name, who died the day it was released. The guy who smuggled him.
Yes.
Yeah. Great. All that shit is great. It's Breaking Bad. And it's funny because you watch that, and especially like the Walt part, you remember how good the show was.
Yes.
You're watching it and you're like, it's almost like I forgot how incredibly good this show was.
Yeah, I completely
Because you're
agree.
watching it and you're like, there will never be, outside of Saul, because I think Saul has its moments where it's almost or as good. But I'm excited to see these guys, or Vince Gilligan, play outside of this universe to see what else he can do. Because I'm sitting here and it's masterful.
Yep.
It's unbelievably good. Everything about it's funny, it's sad, it's scary. And he does all of that stuff perfectly. All of it.
There's that scene where Pinkman goes to the vacuum cleaners, talking about the guy who died.
I love it. I love it.
And the ending is so fantastic because it's another one of those, like, we're going on this journey, this emotional journey, and at that point you're like, Jesse is starting to take charge of his life.
Sure.
And so when he comes back and he's like, bitch move or whatever, and he's like, when you call the cops, they do this and they do this and you're like, oh, really great. Like, look at you, Jesse, like making solid ass points. And then the cops show up and it's just this great, I just burst out laughing. I was like, that is so fucking funny.
It's so Jesse, that scene. Like, he's like a $3,000 short of 150 G's or whatever. Like, fuck. You know?
I love so much of the movie. Like the scene where, like, I keep going back to the Walt scene where he's just like, yeah, yo, or whatever. And you're like, it's the fucking Pinkman, yo.
He's the best.
And he's like, yeah, get it, bitch, or something like that.
When the little bit about, yo, I graduated,
dick. God damn. That was great.
And that was a perfect example of, like, oh, here's a little treat for the fans.
Yes.
That
fan
doesn't
service.
feel, great fan service. Good fan service. We've talked about this many times.
Yes.
There's such thing as good fan service.
But it reminds you, it's placed in the movie at the perfect point where I mean, Jesse is remembering this. And it's when Jesse needs to remember, like, I'm different than Walt. Like, I'm a different person. Like, there's things I can take away from him, like positive things, but also, like, getting away is not something Walt was able to do. He didn't just walk away.
No, right.
And
oh God, it just makes me sad, the line too, and he basically tells him, like, your family's going to be taken care of, don't worry.
Oh, beautiful. Ugh. Beautiful.
Because Jesse was the good guy. Like, he was a good guy through, like, really deep down inside. He was always a good guy.
Yep.
And the brilliance of the show to kind of flip them as time goes on. One of them breaks good, one of them breaks bad. Is just,
it's fantastic. And I even love the scene. I mean, I just keep going back to the Walt scene because it's so great. But, like, when he's just like, I don't even know if I had a point or whatever, because Jesse sort of derails and I'm like, no, you absolutely have a point. Your point is that you're just being a dad. Like, he's just a dad at that point in the show. Like, he's got frustration with his life, but he's just trying to help out this kid. Because they're both kind of like, okay, Walt, becomes like a bad dude.
Yes.
But he still has morals.
He used to.
He came back for Jesse. I don't know if it was all for Jesse, but he came back.
That's true.
You know. So, but yeah, great. Absolutely recommend it. Check it out.
100%.
It's Netflix. Oh, and don't share your Netflix account because apparently they're going to start cracking down on that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh boy, I'm fucked. I steal.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
God damn, I'm going to have to start paying for entertainment.
Although it's not like our family hides that we steal. It's like we all have different profiles and shit.
Right.
Technically, we're part of the family.
I kind of wonder what they're going to do. Like, are they going to do like each account costs you money? You know, and you can sign up for a family plan.
They might want to wait to do that.
I mean, now might not be the best time considering
I would say
Disney's.
all this shit's coming down the pipe. Apple Plus, Disney, yeah.
Well, I mean, we'll see how it all plays out, but I also understand Netflix is kind of hurting, so we'll see.
Maybe they don't need to make 8 billion different TV shows.
Stop making all your shitty anime. Just make one good one.
There you go.
I hate all these
problem
fucking
solved.
Netflix fucking
Home
animes.
just solved the problem. I don't think we have anything else to say tonight.
Nope, that's it.
Well, thank you for listening.
Thank you for admitting that I solved the problem.
Yeah, apparently so.
Yeah.